Okay guys, welcome to your second workout, workout B of phase 1. Congratulations for the other day, smashing out workout A. Hope you're slightly feeling it, hope you're not too sore. It is normal to be sore, okay? It's called DOMS, D-O-M-S. It's short for delayed onset muscle soreness. This is going to happen anytime you've done something new that your body's not used to. So pretty much it's proof that you are building up your conditioning. So get excited, it means it's working, all right? It doesn't mean that it's too much for you. Unless you've pulled something and you're in excruciating pain, push on through, all right? That being said, workout B, all right? We're gonna start with round 1. All right, so round 1, we got plank again. All right, so we're gonna keep building on that core. We're gonna hit the core at the start of every workout. You might be used to doing it at the end of every workout, but I like to smash it out nice and early. Okay, so we're going to hit plank, we're going to hit a side hip raise, all right, to hit those obliques, and we're going to hit running high knees again, just to smash off a quick little bit of cardio right at the start. Warm you up. Let's start it off with the plank. We're going to start on our belly. You're going to get your hands right beside your chest. All right, I want your toes tucked in so that you can get up on your toes. You want to activate everything from your toes up to your fingertips, okay? So we're going to activate our ankles, our calves, our hamstrings, quads, glutes, everything, core, all the way through our shoulders and bicep, tricep, through to our fingertips, okay? So nice and strong, one strong unit, we're going to push up, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to stay in this position for the time allocated on the template, whether it be 30, 45, 1 minute, you just go for what you can. Now, if you can't get the full time allocated, then that's fine. Drop to your knees, do a bit of a child's pose, and then go back into it, okay? Straight back into it. You don't want to rest for too long, okay? So it's all about time under tension. You want to hold that tension for as long as you possibly can, okay? Or at least for as long as you can throughout the time allocated. That's your plank, all right? Make sure you're maintaining that nice, strong, stable core. Make sure you're not dipping, okay? Make sure your bum's not in the air. You're nice and straight. You're a straight line from your heel to your shoulders, okay? So that's the plank. All right, so next up we've got side hip raise. So we're going to sit down on our side, on our hip. All right, we're going to put our elbow directly underneath our shoulder. Hand out in front. All right, hand on your hip or hand on your chest, it's completely up to you. We're going to load onto our ankle, okay, and we're going to pick up that hip, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop it down and we're going to pick it up, just like so. Pretty simple. All right. All right, next up we've got running with high knees. So the idea here, I'll just grab my phone. We're going to run on the spot. We're going to lift our knees up as high as we can, okay? Try and get your knees up to your chest. Like so. All right, so just like workout A, we're going to hit round 1 first, a total of 2 sets, and then we'll move on to round 2. All right, so round 2, we've got step half burpees. Okay, so this is a beginner variation of the burpee. We're going to go through progressions of the burpee, so that's pretty exciting. A lot of you guys might struggle with your standard burpee, so this will be a good opportunity for you to build up the movement pattern before you start smashing out those higher intensity reps. Alright, so after we do the half burpee, step half burpee, we've got a pike press. And basically a pike press is a push up for your shoulders. Alright, so let's have a look. Okay, so we've got the step half burpee. This is a great hinge exercise, a body weight only hinge exercise. So this is going to build up everything from the rear chain, okay? Plus it's going to work a whole lot more. It's one of the best compound exercises, burpees. They're up there with deadlifts and yeah, loaded squats and things like that. So let's have a look. What we're going to do, we're going to stand feet shoulder width apart, nice and straight, nice and square. We're going to put our hands on the floor, okay? Keeping a nice active core. We're going to step back, step up, and then jump, all right? And then we're going to repeat the process. So step back, step up, nice and controlled. jump, and try and go straight back into it. What we don't want to do is jump, stop, and then go into it, okay? So try and keep it a nice fluid motion. All right, alternate between which leg goes back first, and get them done. And then we got the pike press. So with the pike press, what we want to do is we want to go into yoga pose known as downward dog, okay? And then we're going to drop our head in between, so draw a straight line in between your hands, drop your forehead right on that line, okay? You want to maintain 2 straight lines. One straight line from your hands to your hips, and one from your toes to your hips, all right? Very, very difficult if you haven't got a lot of upper body strength, a lot of shoulder strength, core stability. What you can do is you can do an elevated pike press to begin. Right, if you're an absolute beginner, get a nice high platform, and the main thing to focus on is getting those 2 straight lines, okay? As long as you do that, you'll be building up those shoulders, hitting all 3 sides of your deltoids and not missing out on anything, okay? Then you can progressively go down in height until you're on the floor, all right? So that's your pike press. Just like round 1, we're going to hit that for 2 sets, and then we'll move on to round 3. Alright, so round 3, we've got split squats, and this is going to be our first progression for the lunge. And we've got inverted row, and this is another version of the row, or instead of using a vertical pull, we're going to do a horizontal pull. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Alright, so now we've got the split squat. This is going to be our first progression for the lunge. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start in a fighting stance. The way we do that, stand just outside shoulder width apart. Alright, take one of your legs back the same distance. Point this rear foot off on a 45-degree angle. Your front foot points straight at your target. Okay, you might find that your stance is still a little bit close. How are we going to find this? Take our back knee and point it into the ground. If our front knee is further forward than our toes, we need to move our foot slightly forward, okay? We don't want that knee to track further forward than our toes. All right, from there, we're just gonna stand up. That's my stance, and I'm just gonna keep dropping this knee into the ground. Boom. Imagine you're kneeing something nice and gently. You don't really wanna make contact. You can slightly tap it, but just look after yourself, don't damage yourself. So you do that for an entire set. For your second set, you'll do the opposite stance, all right? So same thing, drop that knee down, check your toes. Knee can go a little bit, toes can go a little bit further forward, and then get back up, repeat the process, boom. And just knee that floor, nice and gently. Look after yourself. From there, we've got an inverted row. So this one can be tricky for some people if you haven't got things like I've got here, squat rack. What you can do, however, if you've got a nice solid broom, you can lay it across 2 chairs. That's one way to do it. But just get creative. Make sure you're safe about it though. Don't go doing anything silly. I don't want to see you hurting yourself and not being able to come back for round 2 or, you know, week 2, level 2. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up our bar, and you're going to lay back on your back. You're going to reach up, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull this bar into our chest. You want to maintain a nice, solid, neutral spine, a nice active core. We want to be a straight line from our shoulders to our feet, to our heels, and we're going to pull our chest up to the bar. All right, like so. Make sure you're squeezing your scapula. That's your shoulder blades. You know, imagine someone's got their finger in between your scapula and you're trying to squeeze their finger. Boom. Pull your chest up to the bar. And that's your inverted row. So again, we're going to smash out 2 sets of round 3, and then we're going to move on to round 4. All right, so first we got the knee. All right, so we're going to throw some knees. We're going to get in our fighting stance that I was talking about earlier. Get your guard up. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to push that knee forward. With that knee comes the hip. We really want to push and drive our hips forward. Point your toes down. All right. Imagine you're pulling their shoulder or their head down into your knee and just really drive it forward. Drive it as far forward as you can. All right. All right, so next up we got the round kick. Great exercise. Okay, it's going to use every plane of motion. It's going to use basically your whole body. It's going to generate a lot of power. It's going to build up a lot of conditioning. Okay, so excellent exercise kicks. If you really want to lose a lot of weight fast, get yourself a heavy bag or even just a 4-foot boxing bag and start throwing some kicks into it. Unless you've got a friend who can hold some pads for you, that's even better. But let's get into it. So basically we're going to get into our fighting stance. All right, shoulder width apart, shoulder width back. All right, from here, make sure this front foot's pointing forward. We're going to pick up our knee and then we're going to pivot and throw the kick. As we throw the kick, our body has to rotate. We've got to rotate on these hips. So as we rotate, our shoulders are going to stay with our hips. We don't want to turn as our hips are going. So you want to look like this. Boom. You don't want to look like this. All right, because what's that going to do? You're creating torsion as you generate all that power, and then as you turn your shoulders back, you're disrupting everything. All right, so you're taking away all your potential power. Now, pretty much just lift that knee, it'll be bent, and then do everything else, which is extend, pivot, and swing that leg around. Now, what we want to do is we want to try and get in the habit of stopping that kick and then stepping back into our stance, because you don't want to get in the habit of turning your body. All right, so throw that kick and then bring it back. Now, with your hands, whatever side you're kicking with, if it's your right leg, you're going to throw down your right arm down the length of your leg. You're not going to throw it backwards. Again, we don't want to turn our shoulders back. We just want to throw that leg in line with, throw that arm down in line with the leg. So throw it, land it in front, come back. Throw it in front, come back. Now what we're doing for this burner, we're doing that process as many times as we can in the 30 seconds provided. So if you nail it, you kind of want to look like this. Back. And just try and pick up the intensity as you figure it out. All right, so that's your round kick. And we're going to finish off with teeps. All right, so a teep is a push kick, okay? So you've got two different types of teeps. You got your front teep, all right, boom. With your teep, make sure that your planted foot stays flat on the ground. This is the only kick where you're going to keep your feet flat on the ground, all right? So what you're going to do, the difference is with the front teep, you're just using the ball of your foot, all right? And it's like a jab. It's the jab of your feet. And you basically want to aim for their solar plex. If you can go higher, but that's a good target for the front teep. Boom. Again, push your hips forward, keep your hands up, all right, and just repeat the process. Then you've got the rear teep, and this is a power kick. This is your cross of your legs. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow through. Again, this foot stays flat on the ground. You keep your hands up, boom, and push through with your whole foot. You're not just using the ball of your foot with this one, you're going bang. So for one round, you'll go the front teep, all right? So it'll be boom, boom, as many times as you can, trying to keep that balance in that 30 seconds. The second round, you'll throw the rear teep, boom. I'm just putting this hand down to hold my phone so it doesn't fall out of my pocket again, boom. So driving your hips, driving the heel forward, generating as much power as possible, and that's your teeps. All right, so that's round 4. Get it done. Let me know how you went. I'm sweating just doing the tutorial, so I know you're going to love it. All right, thanks for watching. Go and smash it, guys.